I like this thing, I really do. Syncopation is just that midline. It's a good weapon. It's not a great weapon, it's not a bad weapon, but good. You know exactly what you're getting. The 390s do have some really good rolled options, like let's say Last Perdition with Outlaw Kill Clip. Geon 7 with Disruption Break. Third Axiom has good rolls. Forge's Pledge has good rolls. Syncopation is stasis though. That brings some value to it. I'm going to break it down, but a little spoiler here. There are only 2 rolls that I really like for this thing. Only 2 rolls that I find value in. There's a ton of rolls that can work, but for this thing, I want something specialized. I think run-of-the-mill perks like, let's say, moving target Headseeker, moving target rangefinder, whatever it is, are better utilized on other weapons. And the perk combinations that this thing can get, you can have some special outcomes. I'm going to fully go through the weapon, talk about the build crafting process, get to the 2 rolls, but before I do, I want to give a huge shout out to a continuing sponsor of the channel, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark is an extra layer of security for your photos, your videos, all your personal stuff so no one can see it. It encrypts your data and it keeps it safe. It hides your true IP address, it's extremely easy to use, and my favorite thing is that it's the only privacy product that allows unlimited simultaneous devices. Most of them limit you, but not Surfshark. You can have it on your phone, your desktop, as many devices as you want. It works as a browser extension or app and allows you to place your phone or laptop anywhere in the world. HBO Max isn't available in some countries, so you just change your location and it's going to open up. And for Netflix, there are about 15 different Netflix libraries out there to go out and explore. With changing your location to different areas, you can see what's playing around the world. And when it comes to gaming, you can game in full privacy and security. That includes big ones like hiding your IP in Discord and other chats, not having to worry about it. And you can also prevent ISP throttling from your provider and actually get faster speeds than what they've been capping you at. Protection is key. Use my code CoolGuy to get 83% off plus 3 extra months free. There's a link down below right at the top of the description, and if for whatever reason you're unhappy, they do back a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk to try it out for yourself. Syncopation is a stasis 390, strong base stability and aim assist. Stability is at 63, aim assist is at 66. Something to note, it has a 1.9 times zoom. To put that into perspective, the base scout zoom is 2 times, so it's right there with it. It can reach out and touch your enemies. It has a recoil direction of 79, so this creates a clear path for the craft. It is craftable. It's part of the Extraction Witch Queen quest, and for the masterwork, one thing, again, since it does have a zoom multiplier, a hefty one, 1.9, it's pretty much a scout. The more zoom that you add, the more stable the weapon is. That's how Destiny has been, and that's by design. And even though they're going to get some changes, that's a huge reason why Shayera multi-mock feel the way that they do with their scopes. But for this, I'm going Stability Masterwork. That's what I recommend. And as I go through, the Masterwork stat points are going to be added to my barrel and mag. You can go range, there's no issue with that. Its base range with its zoom is 36.5 meters. Max range is 40.5. Max range with rangefinder is 44.6. So you can gain almost 10 meters on this thing. I don't think that it needs it though, because at that distance, there are better options, and you're asking for trouble. I prefer the Stability Masterwork with how I'm building it, because there's a payoff. I think the correct barrel here is Arrowhead. It's too easy. 79 recoil direction, Arrowhead gets it to 100. It also gives +9 handling. It gets the handling stat to 60 overall. More on that later. 3 main choices for the magazine: pure mag, like appended or extended for PvE, high caliber for the +5 range and the stagger, and then ricochet rounds. The rounds bounce, it gives +5 range, +9 stability. I'm going with high cal. Same thing I talked about with the empirical review. To stagger in PvE, to throw off my enemy shot in the Crucible. And again, they are making the stability stat matter more. You have to think, all weapons are having some sort of flinch resistance built in with that stability stat. All of them. So in theory, the flinch battles are going to be a little bit better. So as far as stability, it's mattered the most to controller players historically. Not so much for mouse and keyboard, but with this change, they're giving value to that stat, and you mouse and keyboard players, you might want to invest in it. They're making it to where the more stability that you add, the more flinch reduction you get. 20% flinch resistance with 100 stability on pulse rifles. So Stability Masterwork Arrowhead with high cal gets you to 72 stability. With Ricochet, it's 81. For the perks, Hipfire, it got a buff. It feels good on weapons. If you craft it with Hipfire, it's niche for you. Moving target, players will craft this. You might craft this. It's always good. You strafe faster, passively grants +10 aim assist. Gets the aim assist stat to 77. Compulsive Reloader, S tier for it. This is where this perk belongs, with Suros weapons. While above 70% magazine, you get 50 reload speed, and it's also getting a scaler soon. You add on some reloaders, it's at 100. So now is a great time to bring up Suros Synergy, top 3 trait in the game. After you reload, you get +36 handling and 20% flinch resistance for 6 seconds. So, Arrowhead brought the handling to 60, this brings it to 96. And this trait is giving you that 20% flinch resistance. Stability is going to be giving flinch resistance in the update. Resilience is giving flinch resistance in the update. You also have pulse unflinching on your chest. That is a lot of help. With any Suros weapon, you're using Compulsive Reloader to abuse the trait. Every time I spawn, I shoot a burst, I shoot a shot, every single time, or every time I'm getting close to an engagement, because when I get to that engagement, I hit the Compulsive Reload. I load in 6 seconds of that 20% flinch reduction. I put extreme value on this perk for Suros weapons. I put it in top 3 always. It doesn't matter what's there, simply because of this. And in all gameplay, I do have on double flinch for pulse on my chest. Check this out. I saw this enemy, what they were using, I tried to find them and duel them, I did. So just right now, not taking into account what stability is going to give with flinch resistance, what resilience is going to give, that's all going to be on top. Just Suros synergy, double pulse unflinching. This is versus a Crimson, and I think all of you would agree, Crimson is one of the worst weapons in the game to duel against, and it takes those shots in stride, no problem. Then, the Memento Mori Ace of Spades, I found another player. It's another rough weapon to duel. Again, they got a kill, they shoot a shot, it receives it beautifully. This helps you win gunfights. It's a very viable way to play the game now. A Suros weapon with the trait, Compulsive Reloader, allows you to abuse it. Then you have on High Cal to throw them off. It just simply works. Steady Hands, great perk. After getting a kill, it makes all weapons have very fast swap, ready speed, faster than quick draw. Zen Moment, there's better options. Outlaw, it's great. Second column, Rangefinder. I personally don't recommend it. And to walk through why, at base, with fall off, it can deal comfortably 40 meters and in. That's fine. Rangefinder with max range, you're dueling up to 50 meters. That's cool, but at 50 meters, I would encourage you to just switch to a contingency plan. Aisha's Embrace or similar. You're asking for it if you're dueling at that range. Headstone. It's still perfect with stasis. Even with chains giving 15%, that still means your opponent is going to take a bullet more to out TTK you. Frenzy, the sleeper. While stowed or it's out, just being in combat for 12 seconds, Frenzy's gonna go up on the screen. You get 15% more damage, plus 50 handling, plus 50 reload. And hard stop. That plus 50 handling and reload doesn't get enough street cred. It's not just damage. It's a great perk. Headseeker. I've been a defender of this perk for years, and I will defend it when the archetype allows it. The 390s do not. Body shots landed with this weapon increase precision damage. Basically, as the burst rises, if you first hit the body and the second or third bullet trail to the head, Headseeker's gonna proc. The headshots do more. But Headseeker's always been there to save the burst time to kill within the burst. With the current damage profiles, rapid fire pulses and high impact pulses are the only ones that benefit from Headseeker. 390s do not. It's still taking 7. That means 3 bursts. 2 are coming out, the 7th bullet is the kill bullet, and Headseeker doesn't get it there any faster. Vorpal weapon, it's a tough call. Deals 20% more damage to guardians and their super, bosses, majors, ultras, and vehicles. There are better options for this pulse, but what's nice is that this is fairly obtainable. Pulses are always in the artifact. It's in the artifact right now, so if you don't have a good Vorpal pulse, this is an option for you. Focus Fury, not a fan on this particular weapon. You had a 50% crit ratio with the magazine. For 11 seconds, you deal 20% more damage. This works extremely well with Viced or Overflow weapons. Viced has the trait, Overflow just doubles the mag. It works really good on precision weapons as well, like a hand cannon. Not really a fan on this 390. As the burst rises, they can miss. You can do it, you can craft it, it'll work in PvE, it'll work in PvP. But this pulse has a little bit more to offer elsewhere. With these perks, sure, a ton of them can work, a ton of combinations. Some are going to work for you. Maybe moving target Headseeker, Steady Hands Vorpal, whatever it is. But the two I'm focusing on, and the one you've been seeing a little bit of gameplay of, the first is Compulsive Reloader and Frenzy. This is a very fun weapon to duel with and just overall play with. Being a Suros pulse makes all this viable. It's set up with 100 recoil, high calibers, 72 stability, all the unflinching mods with Suros energy added. And more is going to be added after the update with stability and resilience changes for flinch reduction. You just duel and Frenzy's just going to happen. Handling wise, Suros synergy, after you do that reload, it gets it to 96 handling. When Frenzy's up, it's 100 handling. And the reload's at 98 with Compulsive Reloader. It's fun. It jumps to 35 per bullet, 105 per burst. It's a very unique setup. The whole vibe is just to get into an area, load in the Compulsive Reload, get the unflinching, just duel. As Frenzy's up, all those stats get near max and you're searching for 2 bursts. I'm not sure there's really anything like it in the game right now, using it like this. It's a unique experience, and to me, it's a fun one. And sometimes that's a factor. Would I ever bring it into trials? Probably not. Not everything has to be, but I will continue to use this thing in 6v6, especially after the flinch update. And come to think of it, who knows? If the flinch reduction is substantial, high resilience, 72 stability, double unflinching mods, Suros synergy, I might take it into trials, who knows? Why not? If it's as good as it looks on paper, translates to the game. Loading in Suros synergy and dueling. You stay there in fights, you get rewarded with Frenzy. And then you start putting in work. It's an option, and I think it's a very fun one. The second role, it's tried and true. Outlaw, Headstone. I love Headstone on stasis subclasses, using the crystal as cover, getting damage resistance from it, breaking it, then getting the grenade energy or overshield, whatever it is. And then Outlaw just goes right into Suros energy. It's a win-win. Pulses are part of the artifact, and they're going to be again in the future. So PvE or the Crucible, both of these roles can work well. And I think the most important thing for it is it's actually front-loaded. And by that, I mean its recoil gets to 100 with Arrowhead, and it has a base 1.9 times zoom. Those two things right there make it feel really good at base. And I think players that like pulses are going to vibe with this thing. I really do. Just because of those two things. And then you start adding on the best combinations for you. And for me, Compulsive Reloader Frenzy, Outlaw Headstone. And I'm going to end right where I started. It's special because it's stasis. You can do some things with that. It's got a great Suros trait, but is it a great weapon? Not really. Is it a bad one? It's not that either. It's just a good one. It's right in the middle. It feels great in your hands. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about Syncopation down below. What roles do you find value in? What are your overall thoughts? Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.